Namah Shri Shankarananda Gurupadam Vijjanmane Savilas Mahamoha Graha Grasaik Karmani Mangala Charan Mantra. We are doing the Mangala Charan Mantra to change our mindset. The simple meaning that we did last week, the wisdom eats your inner crocodile. And what is this crocodile inside us? This inner crocodile is the delusion, is the ignorance, is the suffering. That is what we understood in the last week. Let us make it little easier. We have to recognize the drama queen inside, and the drama queen is our impulsive mind. So, delusion is not boring. That is why I said drama queen is the mind. It is a glamorous Netflix series inside the mind. Mind is a drama queen. How come? I said it is a glamorous Netflix series inside the mind. The mind starts getting some triggers every time. Oh, let me have it, let me have it, let me have it. Oh, let me not have it, let me not have it. So, how that trigger calms down? You cannot calm down that trigger without Eastern wisdom. The Eastern wisdom, the knowledge is a crocodile hunting. It is the inner beast of ignorance. Sometimes what happens? I say that I follow my heart, but it is actually the crocodile inside me saying, let's buy more stuff to feel spiritual. No, let's let's divorce so that I can spend more time into my awakening. No, this is I have to redirect this mind inside. So once you understand this, once you understand this, then what happens? Then the same mind, the same drama queen says, oh, let me find my true nature. Some people leave this session, they say, oh, I have understood it. No, it is another drama queen. So what happens? Then we get the ability to notice what is happening in the mind, the thoughts and the feeling and emotions, you are noticing it. Please notice these thoughts, feeling and emotions. Noticing means that you are present here and now. It is an awareness in the inner space. It is the awareness in the inner space. You are aware, thoughts and feeling and emotions. How can you develop that presence? One method I have already told you that I see my master is manifesting in you all. you are doing it, you are progressing, Master is happy with me. You are not progressing, Master is still happy with me because I'm trying. So it has nothing to do with me. The ego, and that is the biggest drama queen. So we notice the thoughts are feeling and emotions in our mind, and we are a neutral observer. First thing is the presence. We directly want to notice the thoughts. It is not possible. It has never been possible. I have to return to the presence to notice. So any Mangalacharan mantra will do. So the presence, and then I become the observer. Huh? Observer of all the thoughts. And then we investigate by contemplating and reflecting. Oh, mind is a drama queen. Even now, when you are noticing, when you are an observer, that drama queen is trying to push you. Oh, let us move the body. Oh, let us think about the partner. Let us see what happened yesterday about the reaction. How can you pacify it? Oh, unnecessary. My master used to say that when you touch the heart of a teacher, you can bring an end to the ignorance. One way of touching the heart, just saying namaste and touching the feet. No, that is just the beginning. So it happens through the mind. So when you investigate, you also recognize that there is enough space inside your heart. And the moment you find the space, you can embody, you can simply say Om Shanti. That is the meaning of touching the heart. So it has to come through regular practice. Without the regular practice, it doesn't happen. So you see the presence, poise method we have done today. Presence. So before the presence, you say yes or any. Sarvesham Swastir, may there be peace and happiness for all. For all. So you move from the me-centric to all-centric. That helps you to raise your self-awareness. That is what the presence is. So here it is, oh, crocodile of delusion. Oh, I forgot myself that I have to find myself. That illuminates the presence. Then you become an observer. Oh, then you investigate. When you investigate the delusion, like when you investigate the water in the mirage, what happens to the water? Same thing happens to the delusion. So we get some feel of the space, and there we drop Om Shanti. And when you drop Om Shanti, the life starts changing. You can open your eyes. I did not tell you Vidyaranya, who has written this text, 2.5 Yes, 2.5. Is there any problem?
At our end, at least your audio is coming in and out. I don't know if others are experiencing the same thing. I went
Others are
off and
also
came back on and
experiencing.
still.
Oh, yes, what? Let us see, let us see now if everything is okay. Yes, I tried to fix it today in the morning and I don't know. Now is it happening okay? Yeah, okay. So this Vidyaranya, do you know 2.5 million? Yes, I know. 2.5 million repetition of the mantra 5 times. Who did it? This author, master author of this text. Can you imagine how long it has taken? He was extremely poor. So if someone said that if you do it, everything will happen. So he did it once, twice, thrice, fourth time, and he reached to a higher state of enlightenment. He became the minister in the kingdom. And he was judged as one of the greatest masters. His name is Vidyaranya, forest of knowledge, polymath. He has contributed more than 200 books, and it is not too far, in 1320, in the year 1320. So his clarity of writing and clarity of writing is that this is what we are trying to understand. Some people file, I have not reached there. No. Can you imagine? He did 2.5 million repetition of the mantra 5 times. It takes about how much time? Maybe a couple of years. So he followed all the practices that we are doing on Mondays and Thursdays, but at a higher level. So let us go a little deeper today. Last week we understood our nature is already peaceful. We log in as our ego. We have to log in as the peace. That is what we discussed last week. So keep aside your ego is where the Mangalacharan comes. Everything you experience is an object. We have discussed in detail, and I have been repeating. The ego says, no, this is my experience. Everything you experience is an object. Object means matter. Matter means not me. The one who knows all the experience is me. Can I live into that awareness throughout the day? Whatever is your experience in terms of the thoughts, feeling and emotions are objective reality. You are not there. You are none of these experiences. Whether it is anger, pleasure, duality, conflict, I am a failure, I am a success, it all comes from your experience. When you say I experience, it is your ego. So one who is the knower of all the experiences, is where I really am. Take a simple example. Do I see you? Yes, I see you. So it means I am eyes because I see you through my eyes. But I am not my eyes. I clearly know it. That I is something behind the eyes. Is it mind? Because the mind has a memory that you are the dentist. Okay. So I am my mind. No, I cannot be my mind. So there is a consciousness behind the mind. That is the real knower. The eyes are the false knower, apparent knower. Mind is the second level of the knower. The real knower is deep inside. We have an experience, it's a common, we can understand it. But what happens, the mind turns and identifies with the ego and it becomes a drama queen. Now, what the master is saying? Master is saying, it is not a problem of your anxiety, duality, conflict. It is a cognitive problem. It's a cognitive problem. I claim that I am my eyes. It's a cognitive problem. Even you close your eyes, you still have a problem with a person in your mind. So it's a cognitive problem. It can be removed by knowledge and understanding. Suffering arises from why? We discussed misidentification, not from the self. It is an error in perception. I used another word, error in my perception. When you say you are my honey, is it not an error of perception? I leave it on you. When you say you are making me crazy, it is also an error in perception. When I say you are most attractive when I am attached to you, this is also error in perception. Think. You don't need to kill your anxiety. Now we are understanding. So when it is a cognitive problem, you don't need to kill the anxiety. You need to stop calling it me. You don't say I am into anxiety. All experience is taking place in the mind. You are not the mind, so how can you be into anxiety? Huh? Real practice is less about technique, more about, can you find the word? More about discernment. From there the cognitive understanding comes. We are not broken. We are just wearing a wrong mask. Oh, I'm really broken. My heart is broken. Nothing is broken. We are not broken. We are just wearing the wrong mask. That is briefly what we did last week. What is the essence of the teaching? I told you that we are going little deeper. We discussed what is the essence of the teaching, the nature of the self. We discussed last week. It is absolute consciousness and bliss. We also briefly discussed the cycle of seeking and the suffering and the stages of learning for the seeker. You have to start with the Mangalacharya, listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, nididhyasan, and resting. Ultimately, you start resting in the self. But we have to go little deeper. The 5 key areas to work to awaken to the highest consciousness, or you can say the highest mindfulness. What are the 5 key areas? Now, is more technical. So he says that we have to understand, when you say yourself an individual, we have to define it. We have to understand. It's a cognitive understanding. Who is an individual? One who says I'm crazy, second says I'm in peace, third says I'm husband, fourth says I'm the wife, fifth says, you see that 9 billion people now all have their unique, they identify with their experiences. Master is saying, let us understand what is this individual and what is beyond that individual, or you can say, what is that supreme consciousness? So you should be very clear about it. Why we should be clear? Take it as a model, take it as a protocol, take it as a variable to reach to the highest state. Second point, to understand what exactly is the source of bondage in me at present, just now. Why I suffer, why I feel that I will suffer in the future, why I feel that I suffered a lot in the past. So the master gives the same answer. We are suffering because of our ignorance. Ignorance causes the delusion. Delusion is nothing but the misidentification. Misidentification with the body, mind, senses, etc. Briefly, we'll go deeply. Third point is that I have to understand the nature of the Supreme Consciousness. The nature of the Supreme Consciousness, it always lives in highest cognitive understanding. You say Supreme Consciousness as a God or whatever you want to say, or a pure consciousness. It is not impacted, it is not affected by ignorance. We are affected by ignorance, that is why we are an individual. Are you not affected by ignorance? Did you not get upset into anxiety, duality, and a conflict, whatever is happening outside? So you see that first we have to define individual supreme consciousness, then we have to understand the source of the suffering. We normally blame others, you are the source of the suffering. So the suffering is ignorance. Then we have to understand very nature of the supreme consciousness. Fourth point is that we have to understand what is the path of liberation or awakening, and then what is the role of a teacher and other forms. So first, 5 keys to the freedom. Can I make it simple? Dennis knows it. We also know a little bit, not too much as Dennis knows. We have an admin login and we have a local login. Now, those who have business, they understand it. Admin login has all the powers. They can access even the local login. Local login is an individual. Admin login is the Supreme Consciousness. He has a total freedom. Understand? I'm making it very easy for you. You have to think and contemplate. The moment you have an anxiety, oh, I have a local login, let me find out what happened to me. One internet running everywhere, in your house also, in my house also. Huh? On your phone, it looks my tiny screen at the data center, and it is the vast network. Individual is the local login. Supreme Consciousness or the Ishvara is the full admin view. Same consciousness, same internet connection, different login rights. Are you understanding? Individual and the Supreme Consciousness. And I'm using the modern terms so that you can understand easily. There are very tough technical terms. So one consciousness appears as limited, individual, you, me, I, and the limitless Supreme Consciousness through the different lenses. Why? To show that bondage is not in the consciousness, but it is present in the mistaken identification. We find we are liberated. We put our email and then we put our password. Oh, you see that I logged in. But it is your mistaken identification. You have already become limited individual. Let me introduce. He's my husband, or she is my wife, or he's my. I'm logging. Local login. So by removing ignorance through the self-knowledge and what? Can you think of it? So I have to get rid of the misidentification by the local login. And the local login is made up of the 6 neighbors. We have already done 6 neighbors. In our traditional text, it is known as Panchakosha, 5 layers. So I have to go a little deeper, inquiring into the physical layer, the energy layer, the mental layer, the ego layer, and the last layer is the ignorance. So I understand each one, I have a cognitive understanding. Then I recognize, oh, local login, there is no local login. It is all the Supreme Consciousness. So am I that Supreme Consciousness? Answer is yes. That is the conclusion he draws. I believe you have understood, so let us understand in a different way. Just see, model, God is in admin mode. We are stuck as a guest account. We don't know our birth and death. So it is a guest account. The technical term, principle, so that's why I'm taking it some time. Individual and the Supreme Consciousness are like two user views of the same system. System is the same. User are the two, local user versus the system administration. Same operating system. What is the operating system? Consciousness. Operating system is the same. Consciousness here, consciousness there. So if I'm logging in as system admin, I recognize that there is no suffering at all. You have a local login, you find that you have a problem. How do you express your problem? My honey is not listening to me. Are you understanding? My body has a lot of problem. Local login. I'm giving you a pause so that it should touch your heart. Very beautiful way of this author presenting. So I'm presenting in my own way. So individual problem is ignorance. Why you are logging in as a local login? What is local login? Today I have a headache, I will not attend the session. Or I am the body. Or I have my mood is upset. Or you made me crazy. They are local logins. Can consciousness be crazy? You're getting an answer. I'm going slowly. So I am this body, this mood, I have this resume, I am rich and I am poor, and then wonder, I want to keep that happiness in a safe box. I open the safe box out. I have $1 million, so let me open it and put it. I'm very happy. Finished. Local login. As long as you have a local login, you are finished. You cannot enter into that state. Supreme Consciousness runs totally with no personal wish list. There is no personal wish list of the Supreme Consciousness, no karma backlog. No thought, why don't you appreciate? I've been teaching. So this master says, I have already told you, remember, just contemplate and think of it. 2.5 million mantra. Take one mantra, Om Shanti. And you are doing 2.5 million mantra for at least maybe for about a month. Second 2.5 million, third, fourth, fifth, and you reach to that state. You need not to listen to anyone. But yes, you have to understand the basic principle, and then knowledge reveals in you, and you are done with. So the individual problem is ignorance. Supreme consciousness run totally on the system admin. So system admin has no backlog, has no limitation. So what is the conclusion? That it is only the cognitive understanding. I have to upgrade my understanding that will lead me to the highest state of mindfulness. That will lead me to awakening. You check one email and get into stress. System admin perceives all the inboxes at once and still fine. Model. What we say, the God checks all the inboxes. I see only my small inbox of my husband, my wife, my children, my brother, and long list. And I feel there is a long list, I forget it. So I have to set an agenda every day, I forget it. The system admin doesn't forget anything. My son told me, he is a networking expert. So he explained to me that he is a system admin. And then I said, oh, I got an idea. So he asked me, what idea? I said, no, I will tell you later. So local me or limitless I. Local me is limited I. So the 5 keys of understanding is who is an individual, who is the supreme consciousness, where bondage, suffering starts, what makes the supreme consciousness free or God free, how liberation works, why teacher is required to help you, stimulate you, encourage you, inspire you to live into that state by understanding. Why this is important? Because without this model, you either blame the world or worship a distant God as a cult, as a dogma, as a belief, and as a religion. So you are worshipping the distant God, or you blame the world for all the ills in your life, or keep upgrading your cage. What is the case? If I get $1 million, I'll be happy. If I get $2 million, I'll be happy. If today you are appreciating me, this group, if millions people will appreciate me, I'll be happy. It's a golden cage we are developing. What is the issue? It is the issue of cognitive mistake. Ask yourself right now, am I logged in as a small me, body, mind, ego, or as an awareness in which this small me appears? what I said? Did you understand? Am I logged in as a small wave, or I am logged in as an ocean where all the waves are playing? It is the same consciousness. Consciousness is not two. Is this pain and this suffering happening to consciousness or to a particular neighbor? I have to identify and drop it. That is why I brought. This is why that is why this master brought this five kosha, panch kosha. Now you understand the role. This model of the panch kosha is to get rid of the limited I-ness. That is the main goal. Local login. Honey, why you are attacking me? Local login. System login. Oh, which particular layer is felt hurt? Let me check. Are you understanding? Simply you shift the cognitive understanding. You live into that heightened state of awareness. Ah, yes, I love you, honey. At the same, oh, which neighbor is logged in? Just check. I depend on someone. There is a sense of dependence, and that is why I am asking, I love you, honey. Or I have a system login. When I have a system login, so I love everyone. I need not to say anyone. We are going little deeper. I translated 3 verses, and that is what we are learning. So now you see, what is the journey of cognitive understanding? We have to move from a guest account to the admin account. That is all. You go to someone's house and they say, okay, guest login, yes, I have guest login, so here is the password. And then we become very close to, no, you can have a system login. Okay, then you give the total login. That is what the teacher of the Eastern wisdom teaches you, that you can move from the local login to the admin and system login easily by dropping all the bondages created by these 6 neighbors: individual and the God or the supreme consciousness. You say individual consciousness, you say supreme consciousness. God is also consciousness. So consciousness is the common factor. So it means the consciousness is present in the individual, otherwise it cannot be. It is present in the God, otherwise it cannot be. Is there any limitation for a system login? Admin login is aware of everyone. So that is what my son told me. Oh no, I'm aware of all my 50 employees, working under me, so I'm fully aware. And the moment they ping, I know what they are doing. But it is happening in the consciousness. Consciousness is only one. I get caught in the 6 neighbors. So I have to understand why not to be caught in the 6. You simply understand you are not caught in these neighbors. and you experience a blast. It is an upsurge of the energy. You feel. How do you feel if someone says you get a $10 million lottery? It's a cognitive. It's a cognitive. Those 10 million doesn't go inside the heart. It's a cognitive understanding. So what we learn, this is what the master is pointing out. We learn that my suffering is an identification error. There is no defect in my soul. There is no defect inside. Real self remains as it is. Real self is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. It is not impacted at all. Mind with a hatred veils that real self, causes anxiety, reaction, duality. It is not a defect in the real self, it is the misidentification, it is error of perception. It's a cognitive understanding. And I referred God consciousness or supreme consciousness, or simply say God is not a rival. That God is present here. You need not to go to the temple. You need not to go to any religious places. You have to find it within you. So here the master is saying, teacher plus 6 neighbors is not a theory. It is a manual to exit the hamster wheel. You simply exit the hamster wheel and you feel that you are awake. This is how the master is. What is going to happen the moment you have anxiety? You remember this, you understand and reflect, your anxiety is gone, your depression is gone. You don't have a feel of insult in the phrase. This freedom is realistic. Because it is my nature, it is not a prize. Look at something more deeper. Sorry. You are clear. System login, local login, only one consciousness. So when you say I'm broken, you have a local login with one of these 6 neighbors. You identify with one of these 6 neighbors, so that is why you are saying I am broken. Oh, and you don't know. Someone died at my home and it's very serious. Can you control it? So when you reflect, you remove the error of perception. You remove treating yourself as a local login. You are a system login. Once you have understood this part, then the master says that this real self is never bound. Ignorance alone created the dream of bondage and suffering and delusion. The difference between suffering or bondage and awakening is not a distance to cross, but a misunderstanding to dissolve. Have you seen lot of awakened people? They don't have 3 eyes and 4 noses and etc. There is no change at the physical level. There is the inner change. When I Remember, when I say I identify with the body, I am this, fear, desire, suffering begins. And when it identifies with the Supreme Consciousness, with a system login that is already present in, I experience the freedom and awakening. I experience the freedom and awakening. The aim is recognition, to awaken from illusion of limitation. I believe you are getting it. Let us understand in a different way. Imagine dreaming you are locked in a tiny jail, prison. You cry. What I said, imagine dreaming you are locked in a tiny jail. You cry, plan escape routes, and agree with the guard. Then an alarm rings. You wake up in your own bed. The walls did not have to be demolished, only the dream had to end. Now, in this dream, and I'm into anxiety, I was insulted, I reacted, I had lot of problem with my partner, I had this, I had lot of issues, like a dream. It drops the moment you wake up, and that is known as awakening. That is the cognitive understanding. The self is never bound, only ignorance dreamed up the bondage. You want to break out of a prison? No, that never exists. The prison never exists. Why I feel that prison exists, why I feel that I am in stress, why I feel that I am into anxiety, why I feel that I reacted, why I feel limitation, local login. Local login means that pure consciousness plus the six neighbors. That is your local login. I am this body instant subscription to fear. We have many subscription. You have also taken many subscription in the modern world. So when you say I'm the body, it is an instant subscription to you have subscribed to the body, but then you have an experience of the fear of the birth and the death and the desire and the drama. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Very clear. I am that consciousness, recognition that what I truly am doesn't become old, doesn't shrink, is not hurt. I remain as I am. That real self does not need any self improvement. Problem? Wrong ID, wrong password. Let us understand the third verse in a different way. So basically, what exactly is the message of this master? The self is never bound, only ignorance created the dream I am this limited person. Master says, wake up from that dream you are living in a waking state. I feel little heaviness where I feel anxious, I reacted, You see the play of these six neighbors? The play of the six neighbors? So what happens? You have already logged in with these six neighbors. You have become a limited person, and throughout the day, you try to get relaxed. No, let me relax. Let me get rid of it. The second day and the third day, and the days after days and weeks and months and years together, we continue to live into that bondage. We try to get rid of this bondage, fear, fear of the death. Let me amass little more wealth and I will be free from the fear. There is no chance. The sense of insecurity remains. The sense of security never comes by possession, pleasure, and power, any authority. Today, I taught him a good lesson. Now, my partner will not dare to say anything. Let them gather, let him or her gather the energy, The time is coming in the future, it will happen. Why this happens, why we are running after power, pleasure, and possession? Because I believe my bondage, suffering is real and solid. So I look for some heavy tools. Heavy tools is power, pleasure, and possession. It is misunderstanding. It is delusion. It is ignorance. I am this. I am this is history, wounds, achievement. Is this something known? I know each and everything. So whatever I know is different from the knower. I am the knower, I am not the known. It takes time. We have to get rid of all the six neighbors to understand clearly, step by step. So that you listen to the teacher and you reach there. Where is the cognitive understanding? I have been saying it, don't take it as very typical or complex phrase. Cognitive, I recognize simply. It's a recognition who I am. It's a cognitive understanding. I don't know the definition in modern psychology. You can find out on the Google. But here I know I am. Recognizing the presence. So when you recognize that immense presence, all pervading and eternal, that is why the Master is saying our suffering is a cognitive error, misidentifying consciousness with the body, mind, and ego. Consciousness and the matter cannot go together. They cannot mix up. In ignorance, they are mixed up. In delusion, they are mixed up. Awakening is not becoming divine, it is knowing you were never only this character. A lot of hue and cry, magic, and other things comes. He gets rid of all the magic. Transformation of the self, real self, is impossible. Transformation of the six neighbors is always possible. Because the way the mind looks at you should change. That is how it happens in the marriage. You look at a person, he or she is still a person. And then you get attached, then you communicate, then you talk. Now your perception has changed. Husband or wife. One more thing should help you to go a little deeper, and then we will discuss. Our problems are real at the level of six neighbors. They don't define my real self. Look at this guy, the author, who has reached to that state of enlightenment, and he did not say that you have also to spend 5 and 6 years of reciting those mantra. 2.5 million means 5 times, 12.5 something million times. It took him 7 to 8 years, and he reached to that height of the consciousness. So he is teaching that your problem is real at the level of the six neighbors. You solve it by understanding. Last point should blow your mind. Chasing a better me is endless. It will never happen. When you are chasing a better me, means you are chasing something in these six neighbors. Recognize the real I is the freedom. That is the beauty. I wanted to go ahead with a deeper level. So you see that this is what Master is saying. I have to remove the label. Now I have to not to chase. I have to sit. That is why it is known as on. I have to sit. Presence, observer, investigate, and Om Shanti. Yes, I aligned with the Om Shanti. It is done. This is what the Master is saying. Once we complete the entire, not becoming free, you discover you are always there. You are always there. You are always there. So we will go slowly as per the teaching of this Master in our next session, that how these six neighbors has created the delusion and illusion in me, which is continuously put me on the suffering. Answer is simple, is the local login, not the system login. Yes, Dennis, first you want to share your reflection. More reflection. You should listen to each and every one. Everyone has a different perspective. Oh.
Yeah, I think it was a good metaphor to explain the nature of individual I or false I, and how it is different from the universal consciousness of Ishvar. So the way I understand it, there is one consciousness, and it can perceive itself as an individual, or in your terminology, login as an ordinary limited user, or it can perceive itself as an Ishvar, the admin. So the individual is the same consciousness, but limited by different, so to say, system policies. We use this term to define the limitations, such as karma or past impressions, or body, sense organs, limited mind, etc. So why is it limited? It is limited not because someone imposed these limitations, but because, and not because someone imprisoned me in this body. It's simply because I have a strong belief that this body is me. So it is just a wrong identity. And Ishvara is also the same consciousness, but it is free from the belief that I am this or that. Ishvara knows about the variety of objects, individuals, personalities, but it does not identify with any specific one. So it remains free and eternal. So both Ishvara and individual I is the same consciousness. The difference is only in the knowledge and perception.
Beautifully said. You see that it is only in perception. It is only in perception. So I have to dig deep inside my head. Why the hell I feel that I'm suffering? I'm into anxiety. Local login, nervous system login. That's a term I'm using, so you can use as a God and an individual. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Yeah, just sort of to tag on to what Dennis said, it was, at least for me, a very, very enlightening metaphor. My takeaway is that the local user, there's no two identical local users because each user has default settings that they create or imagine through delusion. And the interaction when we have those becomes complicated when we go from local user to local user. But if we go up to the admin function, we're free of all of that. And there's just pureness is the simple word that I can come up with. So I love it. Thank you.
Beautifully said, yes. You pointed out one thing that is worth mentioning because I did not bring that topic. I kept it for future. That in all individual logins appears different, unique, separate. Fact is that we are not separate. We are one consciousness. You see, the height of the ignorance is this, that I am different than you, I'm separate from you. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good, thank you. The mind was really focused on the understanding portion of it. Once we understand within that admin phase, we know everything. We have access to everything. And when we embody Ishvara or that supreme consciousness, then we see to understand, and we hear to understand, and we speak to add value, and we act to add value. And that all is from that admin or that supreme consciousness. So anytime we see only from that limited login, then it's not clear and it's not to understand or add value. Or we hear and we get insulted, or we get, our ego gets boosted. Either way, then we're limited, that we're missing.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Yes, beautiful. So you see what happens, now you have a system login instead of a local login. Local login says you are my husband, you are my wife. But internally you have a system login and you look at what is apparent husband and a wife. Will you ever fight? You see that? Will you ever feel that you are worthless as compared to Elon Musk? Yes, I'm giving some examples. No, not at all. You are free. You are free. Yes, Samir, you want to share?
सर मैंने हिंदी में बोलता हूँ
हाँ
सर मैं ना मतलब खुशी में ना खुशी नहीं हो रही सर। मतलब अभी ममता की बेटी की शादी थी और 4-5 फंक्शन थे लगातार। तो सर वहां पे ना मैं इतना कनेक्ट नहीं कर सका। मतलब ठीक है, मैं पार्टिसिपेट कर रहा था, पर मुझे खुशी, मतलब मैं डिटैच सा था सर वहां पे, पता नहीं क्यों।
हाँ,
मतलब मैं फंक्शन तो वहां अटेंड कर रहा था सारे, पर मुझे इतना ऐसे लग रहा था मैं, मतलब एक नाटक सा जैसे चलता है ना, जैसे वो सी फीलिंग आ रही थी मेरे को कि सब जो है नाटक सी खोल कर रहे हैं और सब एक दूसरे के सामने को ड्रामा सा कर रहे हैं, होना वाना कुछ नहीं है ये मतलब। लेकिन मुझे ऐसे फील हो रहा था जैसे कि खुशी मेरे अंदर कहीं छुपी है। तो मैं चुपके से साइड में बैठ जाता और बैठा रहता और कहीं इन्वॉल्व भी हो रहा, लेकिन मैं बहुत ज्यादा ना किसी आर्गुमेंट में इन्वॉल्व हुआ ना किसी कॉन्वर्सेशन में। तो वो मेरे को थोड़ा सा बड़ा, पहली बार किसी फंक्शन में गया हूँ तो इस तरीके की मेरे को
yeah.
मतलब
That's a good point. What he is saying that he went to attend the marriage of his son of his sister. So in that marriage, we always have a fatty marriage in India. 200 people join it. So he felt that he remained totally detached with it. He did not feel it is as if something, an event of happiness. So his mind was saying that the happiness is within. So these changes will take place in the beginning, but it doesn't mean that you are not a part of that event. He went there, he participated. Everyone says that you have participated. But your cognitive understanding, this is all a drama. Why don't you recognize your drama? Because I was not aware of that at that time. I was not aware at that time when I got married. Now I am evolving. Now I become aware. So I realize it is also a drama. With all humility, I must say that don't start expressing it outside. You have to live inside. Cognitive understanding lives. You live your life inside. Huh? Nothing changes in the Einstein outside. It is inside. It is that cognition. It is that knowledge. So you participate in all the events you enjoy. You just show that you are enjoying. It is an acting, but internally you know. Nothing. Marriage is not a certificate of happiness. Marriage does not have a characteristics and property of happiness. But don't tell your partner, Christina, now it is your turn. You have to live into that.
Thank you, Girish, and thank you everyone for sharing. I keep getting tears in my eyes throughout today's lesson, and it was the realization of, first I felt a little scared.
Yes.
Because I have been bonded to the ego and the mind and the boundaries I've thought were important to protect my body or mind. And so it was this scared feeling for a moment of, oh, I really am bonded to this ego that I experience.
Yes.
But then I immediately felt this drop into my heart, and it brings just the flooding of tears into my eyes of realization of, I don't have to be bonded to these things because the consciousness and matter do not mix, but the delusion is that they are mixed.
Yes.
And
yes.
so I'm just emotional. So thank you, but full of gratitude and peace that it is right there, and I just have to
And
stop
Christina,
this interpretation.
consciousness never takes birth and never dies. Because I am consciousness, so I never take birth, I never die. Why to worry? Why to have fears? One day this body is going to drop. Do whatever you want to do. You spend $10 million on this body. One IT guy spends $10 million on this body to remain young. I'll tell you the name next week. Perhaps Dennis knows. But you cannot change the universal law. What is that universal law? Body is subject to change, mind is subject to change. So what is subject to change is not me. So when I am unchanging, eternal, all-pervading consciousness, why to worry? Can you feel the immense joy when I am pure consciousness, all-pervading, neither takes birth nor dies? How are you, Terry? We are going deeper and deeper. You will enjoy.
I'm I don't really want to say, but I feel removed. I understand what you're saying, but that's what I
understand. Repeat that understanding. You know, one message of 2.5 million mantra, 5 times, 5 rounds. He did it for, it took him 7 to 8 years. He was so committed, this guy. He was born in such a poor family, the author of this master. In around 1290, he lived until 1345. He was made the minister, but he was a polymath, and he grabbed and he understood the entire masses of the Eastern wisdom, and then he started writing his books. Look at his expression, the way he expresses. He says that everyone has a birthright. You simply understand. You remove the cognitive understanding. Whatever the situation you are in, you need not to worry about it. I have an urge to go to the restroom, so I will go to the restroom. That's purely worldly, material thing. I feel hungry. Let us eat. But inside I should have a cognitive understanding that I am the real self. It does not prevent you. Whether you are hungry or whether you are glutton, it does not prevent you to say that you are pure consciousness. I have to recognize it, I have to realize it, I have to experience it, and the life changes, life transforms. But once that transformation takes place, you cannot imagine what is going to happen. I'm not giving you any ideas of that. Once you live into that state, you know what happens. That is also, Terry, understand. And I know you are understanding. We all know that we are understanding. So that is all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Namaste.
you.
Namaste.